Hello there, Algebra 1A, and welcome to Lesson 3.7. Today we're going to be solving percent problems. So we have a few formulas to go through solving percent problems using proportions. This can be helpful if you're buying something and you want to know like what percent off is this item. You can represent A as a P percent of B by using the proportion A over B equals P over 100. Another way to think of this is we're going to reference the part over the whole, and that's always going to equal our percentage, or P over 100, okay? Where A is the part of the base, which we'll let be B, and P over 100 is the percentage for that, not pen, percentage. Okay, let's see this in action. So find a percent using a proportion. What percent of 50 is 33? One thing I want you to get used to seeing is when you see of a number, of 50, that is representing the whole. That is the base. That is the whole number. That's going to be, in this case, your denominator. So of, you see of, you think base or whole. So we're setting this up. Write a proportion. 50 is the base because that's our bigger part in this case. And 33 is the part. So the other number is our part. I'll highlight that in another color here. So we substitute those in there. 33 for our part and 50 for our base. And then we just have a cross multiplication problem. So 33 times 100, 3,300. 50 times P. Divide each side by 50, and we get our percentage, 3,300 divided by 50, and that's 66 is P. So 33 is 66% of 50, okay? Remember, base has the word of. Part is the other section there. So let's try out some examples. What percent of 80? So that's our base, is 28. That's our A. So we basically just set it up. 28 over 80 is equal to the percent over 100. Cross multiplying, 2,800 is equal to 80 times P. Type that in. Dividing each side by 80, and we get that it is 35%. Okay, what percent of 90? Where does 90 go? The denominator. 36 in the numerator, P over 100. So 3,600 is equal to 90 times P, and we just divide to get the percentage. So 40 equals P, 40%. Okay? Now, that is when you're finding a number or a percent of a certain number. Now, we can also find A is P percent of a number by using this equation. So A is equal to P percent times B, where A is a part of the base and B percent is the percentage. So there's our other formula for today. Remember, B is the of part. So if you see the word of, that goes in there. Looking at these here. So what percent of 224? Of is the B value. 98 is the A value. We are finding the percent, because that's why it says what. So A, we just write down our formula. Okay, always start with that. Fill in everything. So 98 is P percent of 224. Substitute in 98 for A and 224 for B. This is just a little mini equation. So we are solving for, it looks funny, but we're solving for that whole thing. So that means we just divide everything by 224. You're going to get a decimal. That's okay. 98 divided by 224 is 0.4375. Now, divide each side. So we divide each side by 224. Here's the little thing. To write a decimal as a percentage, you always move the decimal to the left. To right, sorry. My bad. So, 0.4375 is 43.75%. So that is for decimal. To percent, you move to the right. If you're going percent to decimal, you move to the left. Okay? I would have that down for you to think about. You could check by multiplying. We'll just leave it at that for there. So 43.75%. The other way to go about this is now we can find what number is 75% of 164. Once again, of 164 means that's our B. And this time we have 75%. So we are finding the part. This time we'll write 75%. Our base is 164. With this one, you need to convert 75% to decimal. So 0.75. Make sure you write as a decimal. Write the percent as a decimal. Going to highlight that right there. Times 164. 0.75 times 164 is equal to 123, which means 123 is 75% of 164. Okay? Next up, use the percent equation to answer these. So just little checkpoint questions here. What percent? So we're finding the percentage of 76. So 57 equals P percent times 76. Solving for that P percent means we divide by 76. 57 divided by 76 is equal to 0.75. If you had to write that as a proper percentage, that's 75%. What number is 35% of 80? So this time we have our percentage of 80. We're finding a piece. So 0.35. Remember, I'm going to highlight this again. Decimal. Okay, times 80. 0.35 times 80 gives us 28. So 28 is 35% of 80. Last little examples here. This time we can find a base using the percent equation. So this time, notice, we have of what number means we are finding the base. Of means the base. So 21 is our part. 37.5 is our percentage. So we substitute 21 for A, 37.5 for B. Need to be careful. Write that as a decimal. 0.375 and 21. This time around, we are dividing by 0.375. Okay? So 21 divided by 0.375 5 is 56, and that is the base. Okay, 21 is 75% of 56. Okay, let's try out some checkpoint questions. So 27 is 25% of what number? So we set it up. 27 is a part 0.25. And we are finding the base. So we divide by 0.25, divide by 0.25, 27 divided by 0.25 gets us 108 as our base. Okay? Try out number 6. I'll help you out. Okay? 150 as a decimal is 1.5. Remember, you move it 2 to the right or 2 to the left. 78, and we're finding the b value. So divide by 1.5, divide by 1.5. 78 divided by 1.5 is going to be 52. Okay, so 78 divided by 1.5, my bad. 52 is equal to B. All right. Wrapping these up. So, types of percent problems. I would have this handy. What percent of 252 is 84? So, you're either doing one of two things. You're finding a percentage in which you have of on the right and 84, the part. You're finding a part of the base. Remember that you need 0.30. Write the decimal as a percent times 90. Or you're finding a base. Once again, decimals. Okay? So, check out the homework. I might have it modified for you. It's 3.7. Have those formulas down. Do your best. And good stuff, guys.